Greetings and welcome to the channel. You are tuned in to the North Node Oracle. In this reading, we're going to be tapping into the energy of how you are being viewed. We have three groups to choose from here. We have group 1, we have group 2, and we have group 3. So always remember that this is how someone is viewing you. You can take this with a grain of salt. It can also give you insight, and you could care or not hear. This is also a timeless reading. So whenever it comes across your newsfeed is when it is right for you, and it is also general. I will see you at your reading. If you chose group 1, welcome to your reading. We're going to be tapping into how you are being viewed in this moment. This is a general reading. It is also a timeless reading. Also remember, you are your own oracle, right? And we can take this with a grain of salt. But let's go ahead and look and see how people are viewing group number 1. All right, we're gonna pull here from our archetype deck. How are people viewing group 1? We have child magical. What's interesting is that we have 2 cards. We also have femme fatale. All right, let's go ahead and see what's the other one we have. We have justice. Okay. How are you being viewed, group number 1? Group 1, how you are being viewed right now. What I'm seeing here and what I just can't stop looking at is we have this justice card here. And we have the 2 planets that are balancing, and then we have this sword here of truth holding up the sun. Now, what's so interesting to me is because you have 2 feminine attributes here. We have one as child magical, so light attributes, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. You're being viewed as someone who, according to this shadow attribute, and I'll get into this in a minute, you're being viewed as someone who has learned or who is learning how to integrate these childlike qualities with something, I don't want to call it witchy, but this experience, this wisdom. You're also being viewed as someone who can change their look. It's almost as if, when people see you one day, you're playing with pastels and things that are fluffy and silky, and then the next time they see you, you're dressed in dark colors. You're being viewed as someone who is fair. You could be being viewed as someone who could be part of the LGBT plus community. When I see these scales here that go up and down, that could open up the pool of people who are attracted to you, because we have the sun here, especially if you recognize yourself as someone who may be open. How's group number 1 being viewed? You're being viewed as someone who has wrestled their demons down to the ground. You're being viewed as someone who has gained some type of stability in one way or another, or there's something that you have mastered here that is of importance. You're being viewed as someone who is stable. There's something that you've been working on for a long time, maybe in the public eye, or maybe someone else knows that you've been working on this, and you're being viewed again as someone who has done shadow work in some type of way. Almost as if you have dived into the darkness within yourself. And it's like nobody can play in your face anymore. No one can use things against you, because you already know, because you're actively, or you have been actively working on those things that made you feel like you couldn't be a balanced person. You're being viewed as, some people are in conflict, to be honest, on how they view you. Because the people that benefited from you possibly, looking at the world in a childlike manner and finding beauty in all things, even people who didn't deserve it. Maybe some of those people, since you have changed and you've obtained this pentacle here, maybe some of those people are in conflict on how they view you, because they can't put their key into your ignition anymore. I don't know why it came out like that. How is my group number 1 being viewed here? How is my group number 1 being viewed? People are viewing you as someone who is pouring into your own cup right now. People could also be viewing you as someone who they would like to pour into. You can take that in whatever way you would like to take it. You're being viewed as being in alignment with your intuition. You're being viewed as someone who who can't be sneaked up on. Like when I look at the 7 of Swords here, this seems like someone who may have tried to cross some type of spiritual boundary. I don't know if some of you hit back to sender here, but you're being viewed as someone who cannot be played with, especially in the spirit realm, because you're connected as above, so below, because you have been pouring into your own cup, and that is why you are not so easily defeated here. So you are being viewed here as someone who is intuitive, someone who is strong, someone who is balanced, someone who has gone through things that used to maybe be a little bit too trusting. You're being seen as someone who has gained some type of stability here. This could be some stability in owning who it is that you are here. You're being viewed as someone who, there's something in regards to this Seven of Swords and this Femme Fatale cards with this Five of Wands also. Because again, some people could be in conflict on how they see you. Now, you're being viewed too as someone who, I don't want to say sneaky link, but you're being viewed as someone who someone would want to have a secret relationship with. That could also be with the Seven of Swords here with this Femme Fatale. Let's close it out because we see how group number one is being viewed. It seems like someone didn't realize that you were so connected here. So you're being viewed. You're also being viewed as someone who people want to collaborate with. Someone could be calling you in to join them in something. Because whatever it is that you did here in sending something back, or whatever it is here that you have obtained, whatever this is that you've obtained, it seems like you could have others that understand this energy, and you're being viewed as someone that they could possibly want to work with here. But that's how people are viewing you. Very strong, very connected, having self-knowledge, not afraid of your passionate side, not afraid to be vulnerable, tapped into your intuition. And that is how you are being viewed, number one. Well, that is what I have for you in this reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I am the North Node Oracle, and I'll see you again in the next reading. Greetings and welcome. If you chose group 2, then you are in the right place. In this reading, we're going to be tapping into the energy of how you are being viewed here. Remember, this is a timeless reading. It is also a general reading, but let's go ahead and jump into it to see how group number 2 is being viewed. How is group number 2 being viewed? Okay, we have Knight here. Okay, so what's so interesting is that when I picked up the amethyst here, when I picked up the amethyst, I had these feelings of romance, no joke. So you could be being viewed as someone's ideal partner, but let's go ahead and dig a little more into it to see if we can get some more details on how you are being viewed. Group number 2. We have the Empress here. So now what's so interesting here, so I'm going to acknowledge that the Empress was reversed, but we're not going to be doing reversals here in this reading. You are being viewed as someone who is doing something behind the scenes, someone who could be creating something. And what you are creating here, it's so interesting. I want to switch these around here like this. There we go. You're being viewed as someone who, let me get some more cards, because I feel like I could just channel the story out, but okay, so just like I thought, you're being viewed as someone who does have a lot to offer in a romantic relationship. Now, obviously, someone is viewing you in a romantic way, or you could be, there could be multiple people looking at you in this way. You're also being viewed as someone who is holding their chips close to their chest. And when I say that, I mean she's in her garden, she's in her own world, they're watering themselves. It looks like they're, you know, outside at night, they're barefoot, they're connected to their intuition. It looks like the trees are leaning in here. So you're being viewed as someone who is nurturing something, okay? The Empress also nurtures something. If you look at the breasts here on the Empress, this looks as if they're ready to give milk here. Now, what's happening is what it looks like, especially we have the moon here with all this motherly stuff. What this signifies to me, honestly, is a whole bunch of eggs that you're holding here. You could be working on a creative project that you're keeping tight-lipped on. You could be working, you know, on yourself and your self-healing and your self-love journey here. But you are being viewed as someone who is taking care of yourself, kind of conserving your energy. Now, we have the Judgment card that came out here. You're also being viewed here as someone who, it's so interesting because when I look at this Knight card, this Knight could be people who are waiting for you to come out of this proverbial forest that you're in. It's almost as if something happened here that threw you into this like deep self-healing mode here. You know how you're talking to these trees here, but it looks like someone's waiting here for you to come out of that mode, almost as if like waiting for there to be some type of judgment here so that you can see them, instead of the forest here. I'm getting the forest for the trees here. Group 2, could someone be in love with you right in front of your face? How are you being viewed right now? How is group number 2 being? Okay. We have the Tower. You're being viewed as someone who, again, could be nurturing yourself due to some type of change in your life. The Tower talks about change. It talks about things that are unexpected. If you look here where this thunder and lightning has struck, it looks like it just pretty much shattered this person here. So you're being viewed as someone possibly trying to put themselves back together after a long period of grief. Definitely healing here. How is group number 2 being viewed? How is my group number 2 being viewed? Yeah, see, we have the Nine of Wands here. You're being viewed as someone who has won or who is going through some type of battle of some sort. You could be surrounded by your new soul family group number 2, and they could be watching you heal, waiting for you to open up this crest here to share that. But you're being viewed right now, again, is someone who's going through or undergoing a lot of changes and someone who needs some time to heal. You're being viewed as someone who, again, Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles talks about some type of loss, some type of disappointment here. But what it looks like you're doing and how you're being viewed as someone who takes your lessons and you stack them all up and you look at what it is that you have to learn. You're being viewed as someone, again, we have the Temperance card, someone who is healing. Someone who is healing, maybe trying to make sense of the past here, trying to make sense of things that may have happened here. So there's a lot of healings, a lot of observances of healing. You're being viewed as possibly not being so closed off, but more just in your own world right now, kind of out in the forest, almost like this is what you do when you're out in the forest here. You could be doing some type of work. People could know about this. And again, that could make you attractive here. Let's get one more card here, because we know that group number 1 is, or number 2 maybe, there's something in group number 1 for you. But we know group number 2 is being viewed as someone who is in a deep healing process, and that there's something that you're doing that's bringing in interests of love, but people can see that you're healing right now. What's our last card here? We got the Three of Swords, and we got the Queen of Pentacles. So how you're being viewed, okay, we got another 5 on the scene. Three of Swords talks about heartbreak. It talks about disappointment. It talks about loss. It talks about some kind of hurt here. And again, you're being viewed as someone who is trying to heal from something here. Someone who needs a lot of alone time, and someone who is nurturing themselves here. But this is pretty much how you are being viewed right now. Like there's something that you're holding on to. There's something that you're growing, something that you are nurturing. And it looks like some people can't wait for you to come out of that mode here, because there might be some type of offers here. And that is how you are being viewed, my beautiful oracles in group number 2. Well, that is all I have for you in this reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I am the North Node Oracle. If you'd like to see more videos like this, don't hesitate to reach out and touch that like button. I will see you again in the next video. If you chose number 3, group number 3 with the citrine, thank you so much for joining. This is your group. We're going to be tapping into the energy, trying to figure out how you are currently being viewed right now with my group number 3. Remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. How is my group number 3 being viewed? Okay, we have the Vampire. We also have the Page of Pentacles. Group number 3, you're being viewed as someone who is very protective over the new projects that you are working on, maybe almost secretive here in regards to what you are working on. A lot of people are possibly wanting to know what you're working on because, again, it seems like you're very secretive. You could not have a social media. You could be incognito under a fake name. You could have a lot of Scorpio in your chart and not even post pictures at all. You could, again, be putting a distance between you and others in regards to what it is you are working on, because we have the Page of Pentacles here. And as you can see, it's like they're growing something, but it's underground here. So you're being seen as secretive, group number 3. You're being seen again as someone who is holding on to themselves, who is being in their own world right now for some particular reason. You're being viewed as someone who is very close to spirit. You're being viewed as someone who people view you as someone who is hiding something. You're being viewed as someone who is hiding something, almost as if you are hiding some type of powers that you have, some type of connection here that you have that people can't put their finger on, but they energetically know that there's something that you're hiding. You're being viewed as someone very mysterious, only easily communicated with through the waters of Neptune. How is my group number 3 being viewed? Okay. Some people could be upset because you, 7 of Wands, block them out. And the reason why you could have blocked them out was because you could have felt that these people were pouring out cups behind your back, okay? Pouring out your cups behind your back. Now, you're being viewed as someone who, so it says vampire here, but it talks about makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. You're being viewed as someone who can't be played, someone who has a sixth sense. You have already gone through this. You've already gone through your dark nights of the soul. You've already looked at your relational patterns and know who and what it is you're dealing with. You can spot, you know, people who have certain love styles, or you can spot love bombing a mile away. That's why some people are viewing you as blocked off, or they may have been blocked. You're being viewed again as someone who is very connected and very deeply connected to spirit, because you have been burned before. You're being viewed, again, we have the Page of Swords. Someone could be trying to check in on you because they got blocked, but what these cards are telling me is that they got blocked because they tried to cause some type of an end here with the Ten of Swords. People are also viewing you as someone who draws the line in the sand when you know that someone has poured out your cups here. The reason why I'm saying pouring out the cups and behind your back, because in the other 5 of Cups card, we have some cups in front of them, and then we have some that are poured out. Now, the ones in front of him are the ones that are actually poured out, but I'm getting because this Ten of Swords talks about betrayal. People get all scared and intimidated because you may have a lot of Plutonian energy. You may have a Scorpio rising. You may have had a Pluto conjunction to your ascendant, and you may look like you can shoot fire from your eyes. But I said that all to say, people are viewing you as someone very powerful, someone who has gone through a lot of pain, and that's why you know shit. Because you're connected. Oops. You're connected. You're connected, and you got that way because there was a time that you were isolated and you had no one to talk to but spirit and yourself. And you're being seen and viewed as someone who is very strong. You're being viewed as someone who honestly knows how to, what is it called? Generate their own life force. And when I say generate their own life force, what I mean is, since you have studied different types of relational patterns here, and you know what it is, you know about love bombing, you know about your codependencies, you know about the things that make you weak, your shadow stuff here. You use your own life force. How you're being viewed is someone who moves away from drama and who doesn't take any crap. You're also being viewed as someone who has been through a lot, a whole lot. And what's interesting is that you could try to deplete others for your psychic survival. And maybe you even used to be that way when you didn't know how strong it is that you are. But all of this pain with all of these swords here has brought out something in you here, and you're being viewed as someone who knows how to manufacture their own life force. And someone who is tapped in here. I'm hearing it's like, so what are you gonna do to me? It's like, what are you gonna do? Use magic? And then you say, I am magic. That's how you're being viewed here, is someone not to mess with. Give me one more card. How is group number 3 being viewed? Just give me one more. What can we know about how people are viewing group number 3? I'm hearing it doesn't matter with this group here because you've obtained something. Okay, we're gonna do this. 3 of Cups. You're being viewed as someone, again, who has poured into themselves, and someone who is very, very, very psychic here. Someone who is connected. And that is how you are being viewed, group number 3. Well, that is what I have for you in this reading. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to see more readings like this, don't hesitate to reach out and touch that like and subscribe button. I'll see you again in the next video.